now that I have the privilege to introduce our speaker for this morning. Reverend Don Casseday is an ordained Spiritualist Minister, a certified Reiki Master, and a Universal Lightworker. Clairvoyance is her ultimate passion, and she uses this gift to touch in with spirit guides, guardian angels, and loved ones who have crossed over to the other side of the veil. Please help me in welcoming Reverend Don Casseday to the platform.
Okay. They know I'm hyperly challenged.
Me too.
Imagine that. Welcome, everybody, to the beautiful summer energy. Summer solstice is the 21st day of June, and it just passed. After doing some spiritual research, I realized that the energy of the summer solstice lasts from 3 to 6 weeks past the date of the summer solstice, technically. With spirit, we know that energy is unlimited. There is a flow of energy that's available at any time. So with that being said, I encourage you to contemplate spiritually the summer solstice energy. What that brings to us is we are now in high vibrational energy of the summer solstice. What does that mean? Spiritually and astrologically. The word solstice comes from a Latin word meaning the sun stands still. This is an opportune time to tap into and harness the energy of the summer solstice, which represents the peak of solar energy. Spiritually, it can symbolize illumination, vitality, and the fullness of life. It can be a sacred threshold for personal awakening, celebrating your inner light, connecting with the energy of the summer solstice. As Jamie so brilliantly tapped into today in her meditation, we are the light. We have the light within us. So summer solstice gives us the opportunity to connect with the universal light, which is unlimited and unending. Before evolving spiritually, I used to listen to people say the sky is the limit. I find that within myself, that is an untruth. That is not true. The sky is unlimited and the universe is even more so. I reflect on a mentor that I had for many years. Many of you might be familiar with Dr. James Thomas. He has since passed to the other side of the veil. If you are familiar with Dr. James Thomas, he was New Age when New Age wasn't cool. He was a person that lived in California in the heart of the first phase of New Age. He worked with people such as Louise Hay. If you're familiar with the great Louise Hay, he worked alongside her and took classes spiritually as he unfolded. He was always a wonderful mentor and teacher spiritually, but he also, as all of us unfold, we continue to learn. We learn things every day if we allow ourselves. Dr. James Thomas was a mentor of many students for many years on different subjects of energy healing, unlimited teacher. We were so honored to have him in our presence. He quietly passed to spirit several years ago, and he came through, not to me, but to a fellow student and / friend that I had made in one of his classes. And they shared their message from Dr. James Thomas. And what that message stated was, after 45 to 50 years of dedicating himself to learning spirit, then moving forward to teach spiritual matters in all different areas, he went to the other side. And the one message that he gave this student that I was wonderfully privy to find is that if he would have known the ability that we have as spiritual beings having a human experience, we only, in the 45 years of his teaching, gathering, and learning spiritually, he only scratched the surface of the infinite energy that we have the awesome opportunity to tap into. He only scratched the surface, is the message he came through. And that was to push us forward in a gentle way to unlimited potential. If you believe and you really align your heart with manifestation and put it out to the universe, it's my humble belief that it can create, if it's for your highest and best on your path and the contract that you signed before coming here, if it's aligned with your contract. We can ask to find gold in the hills, but it's not in our contract that we signed before we came, then it's not going to occur. Always, when you set your manifestation, it's my thought that we could put in there and add to that if it's in our highest and best only. And if not, then please illuminate and take us to the highest and best of our potential spiritually and physically, mentally, psychologically. In the summer solstice, it's a unique time. It is a time that the sun and the solar is at its peak. We have an opportunity to connect with that high energy vibration and create things. One thing we can do is we can manifest or put out to the universe, God, the universe, our angels, our guides, to manifest things in our life. And also, we can also put out there to dissolve things that no longer are in our highest and best for our soul. Spiritually, illumination, vitality, and the fullness of life, I would consider getting out into nature in whatever level you feel comfortable. Look around you. As the song was so wonderfully put today that we sang earlier, look around you. You may find yourself in awe of God's creation and continued evolvement, looking around at all the beauty that we have around us. Get off the couch, put your potato chips away, and then I feel like you should go sit on the porch or sit in nature in any way that you feel comfortable and really just look at the magnificent opportunity that we have to be. You may consider during the high vibrational energy of the summer solstice to reflect on things in your life path. Not only things that you would like to create for yourself and your family and your loved ones around you, the friends that are like family, but you can reflect on what are my goals? What would I like to see happen? What am I passionate about? Find your passion. We're so busy sometimes taking care of others. Take a moment and reflect. Possibly think about or consider taking care of yourself. not only physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically, but be in truth with yourself. Nobody has to know. Nobody's like listening, unless it's Martha or Karen. Just kidding. Anyway, as I come in around you, I would encourage you to reflect on how you're refilling and replenishing yourself spiritually. And also during the high vibrational energy of the summer solstice, think about your passions. They don't have to be mountainous. They can be little, like feeding birds or bird watching or anything that really just floats your boat. We're so busy taking care of life. Life is a busy place. I would encourage you to find moments, quiet moments, in the energy of the summer solstice. Quiet moments, even if you have to get up a half an hour early and sit quietly, and let Spirit know, I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm present. You may want to take a pen and a piece of paper or a notebook and just be. You can have coffee, you can have tea, you can have soda, whatever your morning ritual is. It's okay. Remember, Spirit's funny. Spirit will give you a hard time sometimes. And I look up and go, really? Really? Is that what you're going to do to me today? So don't be afraid to laugh. Some people go and they worship, whatever their higher power belief is. They go to and they worship, and they're solemn, they're quiet, they're reverent. And I get that. I get that. That's not me. That's not Spirit, in my humble opinion, for me. My experience is Spirit wants laughter. They want energy. They don't want you to sit there quietly and say 15, whatevers, okay? Spirit can be very funny. And often I find myself looking up in my office, looking up going, really? Is that how you're going to play it today? And, I get this like funny energy. Does anybody else experience that? Yes. Yes. And it's so amazing. I do respect each and everybody on their path and where they are. And I've worked hard at respecting other belief systems. And I say I worked hard at it because sometimes you just look and shake your head. But all in all, they have the right to believe the way they believe, as much as we have the right to believe in our, if you believe that, when you die, you're going to have 72 versions, God bless you, okay? All right? So your belief is your own. As I told my sister, who is an avid Christian and thinks one way, and that's the way, and that's how we're going to think and believe, and constantly telling me, Dawn, Reverend Dawn, she didn't call me Reverend Dawn, trust me. So Dawn, this is the way you really need to think, and this is the way you need to be. You need to stand on tiptoes in one corner of the room and do pirouettes for 15 minutes, etc. I said, that's wonderful. That's wonderful for you. I really celebrate you. And she goes, what? And I said, because we're in the United States of America, we can believe what we want, and it's okay. So you believe what you believe, and I'll do the same. And I'll love you anyway. She didn't really say anything more about that. So you can also, in a high energy of the summer solstice, going back to the energy of the solar solstice, just excuse me, summer solstice. That's way too many S's for one talk, okay? Anyway, as I come in around you, I just want to say, I take my spiritualism very seriously. I joke, I tease, I hope to raise the energy of people around me, but in no shape, no form does that minimize my spiritual belief system, or I'm just in the energy of love, fun, and gratitude. So never mistake my joking or lightheartedness in minimizing who I am and the soul that I am. And please, I would encourage you to do the same. Be authentic. Be authentic. Even when you have a Christian sister that doesn't feel that way. That's okay. It's all good. It's all one big pizza. Leave room in your life during summer solstice for spiritual growth and reflection. Dissolving the energy that no longer works for each one of you, and that will be different in every scenario. But be careful, because some things may fall away and completely dissolve, and it may shock you. Be careful what you ask for. If you ask Spirit to remove the things that no longer serve you on your spiritual path, watch out. Buy a box of tissues, sit down, and have a cookie. Because some things in your life may dissolve, and you're going, that dissolved. Oh no, what do I do? But know that sometimes, as the old adage says, God closes one door and opens another for a specific purpose, even though we're not clear on the big picture yet. So even though things dissolve that you thought were not dissolving, guess what? Leave room for spiritual growth and evolvement. Never, ever stop evolving. Sometimes people, when they retire and they've been working since, the age of 16, they don't know how to step back and just allow Spirit to work. They don't know how to proceed. They feel lost. So leave room for your spiritual growth. As far as me, I can speak for myself, but I would encourage to continue to do your research, delve in, find out your truth. What is my truth? What do I believe? Who am I? You might consider, shedding things and belief systems that were imposed on you at a young age. They slap our butt and they just start telling us what society wants from us, what we need to, believe, how we need to walk, how we need to talk, how we need to go to church every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday on every other week. And so that gives us the foundation of belief. But as we evolve spiritually, it's my experience that we shed those beliefs that were imposed upon us out of love. Out of love. They did the best they could with what they had at the time. So it was imposed on us out of love. But we start shedding those beliefs and we start reflecting on, who am I authentically and what do I believe? Some practices that you can use to connect with the energy of the summer solstice. Some are very complex, some are very simple. Light a yellow candle or a gold or yellow candle. You'll notoriously find Reverend Don Casseday after a holiday, especially Christmas, gathering up all the half price or 3/4 off gold candles available. I am a candle lighter for purposes because it's been shown to me that lighting a candle is a prayer In a way, it is setting an intention. When you have a candle and you light it, you set an intention. And you might want to choose a color that reflects the intention that you're setting. When the young lady lit the 3 candles, she was setting the intention at the beginning of our service today, body, mind, and spirit. When she lit the beautiful candles, she was setting the intention that we would be connected with body, mind, and spirit in this service. It's my belief that when you light a candle for purposes, it's setting an intention, just like a prayer is setting an intention. So you can find a gold or yellow candle, and then you think about and ponder what it is you want to set the intention for. And that is what, even though it's very simple, it is a ceremony. You are having a ceremony. And you may want to talk to spirit or your higher power, whatever that is for you, source, God, whatever that is for you. You may want to talk to them a little bit. If you ever walked around my office in my energy healing room down in DeLand, you would Baker act me at any given time. Because I'm in there going, spirit, blah, 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 blah. And I often make that joke that I could be Baker acted if I go outside of Cassadaga or open my door of my office. Write down old habits is another ceremony that you could have. Write down old habits, fear-based thoughts that you're experiencing, negative energies that you're experiencing, situations around you, family interactions, possible technical difficulty in family and friendships. In other words, someone's not talking to you, or they got their tail in a twist for some reason against you or whatever. Put that out there. Write it down. If you have a situation where people, just whatever you find yourself putting down on your paper, write down those. Write them down. And then you can burn them. Anything that you want to release in your life. Is that God calling? The candle, you can burn them in a simple ceremony by lighting a candle and setting that intention once again. And you burn the candle, I would say white, which encompasses all the colors. And then you burn that piece of paper with all your things that you would like to release. And you can do that at any time, not just during the high energy vibration of the summer solstice, but at any time. It's very therapeutic. And then you have to align your belief system when you do set your intention. Make sure that you're on board in alignment with the intention that you set for your life path. Not only now, but in the future and distant future. The third thing you can do, go into nature. Walk, swim, or simply be in the outdoors. This is the solstice, the still point of the sun. It just, so I want to reflect on a quote by a Canadian author, a person that wrote The Handmaid's Tale, by Margaret Atwood. And she says, "This is the solstice, the still point of the sun, the year's threshold and unlocking." Margaret Atwood. This is your opportunity to really harness the high vibrational energy of the summer solstice. I encourage you to not only embrace the summer solstice energy. But whenever you feel drawn, in the fall, in the different seasons, we have different solstice energies, but you can connect with this energy not only now in the high point of the summer solstice, but at any time. Spirit, the universe, the highest vibration of God is with us and available at any time. I lead that with love and blessings. Thank you.